Hello everyone, welcome to today's practice. Today we'll be doing a Tantric Hatha yoga practice focused on the moon side of the practice. By moon, we are talking about cultivating steadiness and calmness in the mind. So we'll be working with a lot of forward folds, mainly working with long exhalations. So we'll be doing some breath work with the asana. And focusing on getting the mind into this stable and calm state. So working slow and steady also. So today's practice, the topic of today's practice is accessing mind's luminosity. So I want to read something to you guys that kind of sums up the goal of the practice today. So this is a verse from one of the Vedas, the Rig Veda, and it's called Shiva Sankalpa. May my mind, which is pure intelligence and intuitive awareness and retentive power, which is equal to the eternal immortal light in all beings, with no action would be possible, be filled with auspicious thoughts. So for me, this is basically honoring the mind as something that is not problematic, as something that is not a prison that we need to escape from. It's actually recognizing that there is a part of the mind which is equal to the light of the soul. So from many perspectives, they see the mind as an enemy that we need to really shut off and escape from. But from this perspective, we see the mind as an ally. We just need to be able to access that space of luminosity. So it's about getting calm, it's about getting stable, and it's about getting spacious within the mind. So whenever we can remove the fluctuations of this mind that talks all the time, we are more capable of reaching that space of luminosity, of pure essence. So it's about it's about practicing to be able to move through the chitta vritti, the mind's fluctuations, as Patanjali called them, and access this more pure, powerful, and luminous space in the mind. So that's what the practice is about today. We will be doing some pranayama and mantra chanting at the end, if we have enough time for that. But we're just gonna start by some very simple movements. Make sure you have 2 blocks with you and a pillow so we can start. So placing your 2 blocks in the front of your mat and maybe the pillow on the back. Come to your tabletop position. Making sure you have your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Taking a deep breath in here in your tabletop. Push the floor, spread the fingers. And as you exhale, slowly, buttocks to your heels, forehead to the ground. Next inhalation, come back up to tabletop. Try to move slow and mindfully. For this one, this is basically the movement. We're going to build up the exhalations to be a little bit longer. So we're going to start with a ratio of 4 to 4, inhaling to 4, exhaling to 4, and building it up. So starting here with a big breath in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Forehead to the ground. Inhale back to tabletop for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale this time for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Forehead to the ground. Inhale up again for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise up for 4, 3, 2, 1. And build the exhalation up to 7 and 8 for the next 2 rounds in your own rhythm. So counting to 7 all the way down. Forehead to the ground. Next inhalation coming up for 4. And next exhalation coming down for 8. Slow and steady. Bring your forehead to the ground when you finish your exhalation. Allow the weight of the hips to sink down. Allow the weight of the arms to sink down to the floor. Come to an equal breath. So inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4. We're starting to get used to this control of the breath throughout the practice. So breathing in for 4 and out for 4. Finding this comfort in the posture as you sink into the breath. Maybe bringing the breath mainly to the chest. In for 4, out for 4, equal breathing. Beautiful. On your next inhalation, bring your pinky toes towards the floor, your thumbs pointing up. With your arms extended, biceps alongside the ears. As you inhale, you raise the torso, raise the hips, coming to a kneeling position. Slow exhalation to bring the whole body down, buttocks to heels, arms to the floor, forehead to the ground. Few more rounds, controlling the ratio of the breath. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 2, 1. Again, up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 5 this time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale up, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more. Building up the exhalation to 7 and 8. The inhalations you count to 4. Try to soften the body as much as possible and keep concentration in the counting of the breath, making the breath as long as the movement. Last one, exhaling for 8. Once your forehead reaches the ground, rest. Plant your palms back to the floor. And a couple of breaths here. Inhaling for 4. Exhaling for 4. Allow your hips to sink down a little bit more with each exhalation. On your next inhale, lift the chest, look to the space between the hands and come up to your tabletop. Walk with your hands forward, 1 hand distance. Make sure you have your hands shoulders width and spreading the fingers onto the floor. Breathing in here. And as you exhale, tucking your toes, slowly sending your buttocks back and up, lifting the knees off the floor and bringing your belly towards your upper thighs into your downward facing dog. So strong and steady in your first down dog of the practice. Bring your toes slightly inwards to help this internal rotation of your upper thighs. Pushing your shins back, but make sure you bend your knees as much as you need, as the down dog is not about stretching the hamstrings, it's about spinal extension. So bend the legs as much as you need, but still working with your shins towards the back. External rotation of the shoulders, just like if your armpits want to look at each other. Shoulder away from the ear, tiny micro bend to the elbows, pushing the floor with your hands. The weight of the hands are mainly on the index finger and thumb. Stay here for a few more breaths, finding steadiness and ease in the posture, upward downward facing dog. On your next inhale, bring your knees to the floor, buttocks to your heels, Balasana Child's Pose. Next exhalation. Place your hands exactly where they are, so arms extended, your hands stay there, you come up to your tabletop. We're going to work again with the ratio of 4:4 and building up to exhalate, and building the exhalations up to 8. So we start in tabletop, inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Touch the toes, buttocks up and back. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, knees to the floor. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, buttocks back to down dog for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push your shins back. Inhale for 4, back to tabletop. And slow exhalation for 6, back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, knees down for 4. Building the exhalations to 7 and 8 on the next 2 rounds in your own rhythm. Sending the buttocks up and back, belly towards the upper thighs. Focus on the breath and the movement. Once you finish your last exhalation up to the count of 8, Hold here in your downward facing dog. Finding some last small adjustments to find stillness in the posture. And bring your breath to an equal count. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 4. Strong through the legs and strong through the arms, strong through the hands. Remember, you can always rest in child's pose, balasana, whenever your body needs. But we stay here a little bit, cultivating a little bit of tapas. In for 4, out for 4. Internal rotation of the upper thighs and external rotation of the upper arms. Armpits are facing each other. Strong through the arms. On your next inhalation, very slowly bring your knees back to the floor. Untuck your toes. Buttocks to heels, forehead to the ground. Balasana, child's pose. Bring your arms alongside your body. And drop your shoulders down, relaxing your upper body. Feel the sensations on the arms, on the legs. Extend your arms forward, plant the hands onto the floor, spread your fingers as wide as possible. On your next inhalation, raise your chest, look to the space between your hands, coming up through tabletop, tucking your toes, and as you exhale, buttocks back and up into your downward facing dog once again. Finding your small adjustments to stay on your down dog. Next inhale, lifting the left leg up. The left hip is pointing down, squaring the hips down to the floor. Next exhalation, bend the left knee. Inhale to lift the right heel up, shifting the shoulders forward, bringing the left knee towards the nose, pushing the floor with your hands and stepping in the middle of the hands. Drop the back heel down. Make sure you have your front heel aligned with the center of the arch of the back foot, both places down to the floor. Next inhalation, extend your right arm up to be parallel with the floor. Push the floor with your feet, and on the exhalation, pivot the arms around and raise the torso into your warrior two. Make sure you have the front knee stacked right above the front heel and that the hips are pointing towards your right side. Maybe flipping the palms a tiny bend to the elbows, just like if you're carrying a tray on your hands. Tiny micro bend just to release a little bit of the pressure on those joints, elbows and shoulders. Looking to the front fingers, lifting the kneecap of the back leg. Virabhadrasana 2. Bringing the breath to an equal ratio again, inhaling for 4, exhaling for 4. As you inhale, think about this lengthening of the spine. For this alignment, we want to have a straight line from the hips, the center of the chest, and the head. So investigate a little bit where this alignment is in your body today. Shoulders down, away from the ears, strong through the arms. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 4. Little bit more challenge here. to be able to really access this place of steadiness, but also ease within the posture. So notice how you can soften the posture and still be able to hold it steady. Few more breaths. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 4. On your next inhalation, extend the left leg, turn your left toes forward, and as you exhale, bringing the arms alongside the body. Take a few breaths here to feel the difference from one side to the other. Relax your shoulders down. On your next inhale, turning your right toes out. Your left toes, maybe you walk a little bit back, so left toes slightly in here. Inhale to bend the front knee, stacking that knee above the right heel, and extend the arms parallel to the floor, finding warrior 2 on the other side. Flip the palms, tiny micro bend to the elbows. Make sure you have the front heel aligned with the middle arch of the back foot. If you look towards your front toes, make sure you can see your first 2 toes. So this front knee is working a little bit towards the right side, opening to the right. But the hips are still facing the side. Bring your inhalations back to an equal ratio. Inhalations and exhalations, counting to 4. In for 4, out for 4. Look into your front fingers, maybe going a little bit deeper into the bend of the front knee, if this is possible. Finding that straight line between the hip, the chest, and the head. Lifting the kneecaps of the back leg strong through both legs. Relax the shoulders, soften the hands, but still energizing your fingers. Just notice how this is possible. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 4. Strong and steady. Discovering how we can rest in the posture, even in the most active postures. Resting the mind and bringing the mind to a space of stability. Few more breaths. Push the floor with the mount of the big front toe and the outer edge of the back foot. Next inhalation, extend the right leg, turn your toes and your head to the front, and exhale, arms alongside the body. You can even close your eyes here to be able to feel a little bit deeper. Giving yourself some space to feel and observe. On the next inhalation, turning your left toes to the front and stepping into the front of your mat. We're going to work now with some dynamic pyramid pose, Prasvottanasana. So have your 2 blocks with you, maybe placing them on the edges of the mat in front of you. Feet hip width, maybe hands on your hips. Your toes are pointing forward. Stepping with the right leg back, you're keeping your feet on train tracks, so we still have this hip width distance between the feet. Your back toes are pointing forward. So first we're just going to work a little bit with this scissoring of the legs. So the right hip is pointing forward, the left hip is pointing slightly back, lifting both kneecaps. Legs are completely active. Placing the back of your left hand on your sacrum. Inhale, raising the right arm up, right biceps aligned with the right ear, lengthening through the crown of the head, still scissoring the legs, squaring the hips. On your next exhalation, slowly folding forward with the arm extended. Go as much as your exhalation goes and push the floor with your feet. Inhale to come up with a straight spine, straight arm. We're going to do a few more of those, again, with long exhalations. So, inhaling here for 4. And exhale, fold forward for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push the floor, inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tiny micro bend on the front knee. Inhale up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise up on the inhalation for 4. 2 more rounds, exhaling for 8 in your own rhythm. Right hip forward, left hip back. Make sure your sacrum is flat so you find this alignment on the sacrum. Tiny micro bend to the front knee to come up. Connecting movement with the breath, and don't forget the scissoring of the legs. And slowly coming up. Once you finish your next exhalation, taking a big breath in here for 4. And as you exhale, folding forward, and then we have many options here with the hands. You can find your blocks, placing them, framing your foot, whatever height feels good for you today. You can reach your fingertips onto the floor, or you can bring both hands on the sacrum, back of the hands onto the sacrum. Opening the chest forward, sternum forward. And bringing the breath to an equal breath. Inhaling for 4. Exhaling for 4. Looking down to the mat and just trying to relax the neck as much as possible. Not dumping the head down, but also not straining the neck. Inhaling for 4. Exhaling for 4. Shoulders away from the ears. Strong through your feet. Finding some steadiness. Maybe you can fold forward a little bit more with the exhalations, still preserving the alignment of the spine. The most important thing here is to preserve this alignment so we're not curling the spine to the front. So just go as much as it's possible without compromising the alignment of your spine. On your next inhalation, tiny micro bend to the front knee. Come to a halfway lift. Bring your hands to your hips. Bend the knee. Inhale to come up and step forward. Release the arms alongside the body. Tadasana, mountain pose. Resist the urge to move and just notice the difference between both sides of your body. Calm and still. Hands to your hips, stepping back with the left leg. Just finding the stance that feels comfortable for your body too. Maybe you a little bit wider, maybe a little bit narrow. Usually kind of one leg distance from your feet. Toes pointing forward, feet hip width. Left hip forward, right hip back, scissor the legs. Back of the right hand on the sacrum, lifting the kneecaps. Inhale to bring the left arm up, left arm aligned with the ears. And exhale to fold forward. Adjusting the legs as much as you need to stabilize your foundations. Inhale, push the floor and come up. Counting the breath here for the next few rounds. Exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Down for 8. Scissor the legs. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press with the root of the front big toe. Inhale up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push the floor. Inhale up for 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more rounds in your own rhythm. Exhalations to the count of 8. Using the legs to press the floor. Lengthen the spine from the sacrum to the crown of the head. Left biceps aligned with the left ear. Slowly folding forward. And coming up for 4. Once you come up after your second round, take another big breath in here for 4. And slowly, tiny micro bend to the front knee. Exhale, fold forward, finding the same variation as you did with your arms on the other side. On your blocks, on the floor, or behind the sacrum. Sternum forward, shoulders away from the ears, open the chest. Inhaling for 4. Exhaling for 4. Use your blocks if you feel like you're rounding your back, maybe even on the highest height, to help you maintain the alignment of the spine. Blocks are a great ally to the yoga practice. Don't feel shy or afraid to use them. Right hip back, left hip forward. Breathe here. Lengthening the spine on the inhalations, and maybe folding a little bit deeper on your exhalation. Strong through the front foot, pressing through the mount of the front big toe. Feeling the posture from the foundation up. On your next inhalation, come to a halfway lift. Exhale, micro-bend the front knee, hands to your hips. Inhale to bring the torso up and step forward to the front of your mat. Release the arms to the side. Resist the urge to move. Maybe close your eyes and feel your Tadasana mountain pose. Beautiful. Connecting back to the breath, letting go of the control of the breath, just breathing in and out. Bring your props to the side or to the front of your mat, however you prefer, and step to your right side, opening your feet to the right this time. We're going to work with the little sequence of forward fold, twist, and lateral. So bring your feet into a wide stand, wide-ish stand. It doesn't have to be so much. You can adjust throughout the practice. We're going to work with the movement first, and then we're going to add in the breath to this. So inhale, both arms out and up. We're going to work symmetrically with the shoulders and the arms up for this one. On the exhalation, tiny micro bend to the knees, slowly folding forward with the arms extended alongside the ears, preserving the alignment of the spine and folding forward as much as possible with a straight spine. Push the floor with your feet, micro bend the knees and come up on the inhalation. On the exhalation, you start to twist to your left, your right arm to the front, left arm back, at the same time as you fold forward into a twist. Right hand on the floor, left hand pointing up. Push the floor slightly with your left foot. On your next inhalation, coming up, bringing the front arm up, the left hand on your hip. And as you're exhaling, leaning to the left, lateral stretch. So lengthening the right side of the body. On your next inhalation, bringing both arms up. Exhale to fold forward again. Tiny micro bend to the knees to protect the knee joint. Push the floor with the inhalation and rise back up. This time twisting to the right side, so left arm to the front, right arm up, folding forward. Left hand to the floor, right hand to the sky. Push the floor slightly with your right foot, squaring the hips, looking towards your right or to your top toes, hand. Inhale to come up. Right hand to your hip, left hand arm up. And as you exhale, lean to the right. Lengthening the left side of the body. Pushing the floor with both feet equally. Relax the neck, shoulders away from the ears. Next inhalation, coming up, both arms up. We're going to work with inhalations for 4, exhalations for 8, for a few rounds. So let's inhale here, lengthening the crown of the head for 4, 3, 2, 1. Micro bend the knees, exhale, fold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push the floor, use your legs, inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Right hand down, left arm up, twisting and folding forward for 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Left hand on the hips, right arm up. Exhale to lean to the left for 8. So very slowly. Small movements. Next inhalation, left arm up to meet the right for 4. Bend the knees, fold forward for 8. Internal rotation of the upper thighs, your toes are slightly pointing in. Use your legs to support the forward fold. Strong shoulders. Inhale up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, left hand down, right hand up. Twisting to the right, folding forward for 8. Left hand all the way to the floor, maybe looking to your right hand. Inhale up for 4. Keeping the left arm straight, bringing the right hand to your hip, to your right hip. Exhaling for 8, leaning to the right. And here on the lateral stretch, you're moving very slow and little range of movement, but still moving to the count of 8. Next inhalation, rise the right arm up for 4. One more round in your own rhythm. Exhaling down for 8. Pressing through the 3 corners of the feet, lifting the kneecaps. Inhale up for 4. Twisting to the left, right hand down, left hand up, fold forward for 8. Press the left foot slightly to square the hips. Coming up for 4. Right arm up, left hand on the left hip. Exhale for 8 to the left side. Inhale, left arm up for 4. Shoulders away from the ears. Exhale to push the floor and fold for 8. Bend the knees, inhale, rise for 4. Twisting to the right, folding forward for 8. Left hand down, right hand to the sky. Push the floor slightly with your right foot. Square the hips. Inhale up for 4. Left arm up, right hand on the right hip. Exhale, lean to the side, to the right side for 8. Next inhalation, bringing the right arm up. Exhale to fold to the count of 8 one more time. Your body starts to know the way for the movement, for a steady movement. Inhale up for 4. Exhale, twisting to the left, right hand down, counting to 8. And once you reach the floor, you hold the posture here for a few breaths, bringing the breath to an equal count. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 4. Maybe looking forward or looking to the top hand without compromising the alignment of the hip. So slight pressure with your left foot onto the floor. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 4. Engage your legs, activate lift the kneecaps slightly. Finding stability in the breath. Slight bend on the knees, inhale to rise up. And lean to the left for 8. Inhale up for 4. Actually, let's hold here on the lateral stretch. So leaning to your left and hold. So we're lengthening the left side of the body, but we're also lengthening the right side of the body too. So notice what happens when you put this intention. This way we can lengthen the whole spine when we lean to the side. Inhale for 4, exhale for 4. We're always bringing the breath to an equal count on the holds. Next inhalation, bringing the torso to the center, left arm up. Exhale to fold forward for 8. Bend the knees, inhale to come up for 4. Left arm forward, right arm back. Twisting to the right, folding forward for 8. Once you reach the floor, make some small adjustments to adjust the position. Upper shoulder blades away from each other. Inhalations for 4, exhalations for 4. Slow and steady. Bend the knees on the next inhale, coming up, left arm up, right hand to the right hip. Exhale, lean to the right for 8. And hold. Lengthen the left side body, but also lengthen the right side body. Equal breathing, inhalations equal to the exhalations. On your next inhale, bring right arm up, shoulder down. Tiny bend to the knees. For this one, maybe you want to come with your stance a little bit wider, and also maybe you want to have your blocks in front of you. So from here, take a big breath in for 4. And exhale, folding forward for 8, slowly. Arms extended. Reaching for your blocks or the floor. If you have your blocks or your hands onto the floor, maybe bringing them aligned with your feet. Your elbows are bent. Your upper arm kind of parallel with the floor, elbows pointing back. You can also grab your ankles or whatever feels more comfortable for you, or hands on your hips. Equal breath. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 4. Lift the kneecaps. Press the root of the big toes and press the edge of the outer heel onto the floor. Spread your toes. Straight spine, shoulders away from the ears, relax the head. Breathing deeply in and out to the count of 4. Strong through the legs. On your next inhalation, come to a halfway lift. Bend the knees, exhale, hands to your hips. And inhale to come up. Turn your left toes forward and come back to the front of your mat, Tadasana mountain pose. Close your eyes. Resist the urge to move one more time. And just feel this spaciousness you have just cultivated. Relax the shoulders down, soften the knees. And blink your eyes open. Grab your blocks, place them in front of you. We're going to go a little bit more into a challenge for the practice today. So, working with Warrior 3 and standing splits. So let's see how we go with that. We're not thinking about counting the breath for this one. We're thinking about holding the posture with steadiness. So first, bring your hands to your heart center. Actually, we have many options for this one. Either your hand on your heart center, you can have your hand on your hips, or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can extend the arms up, biceps aligned with the ears for this one. So choosing your variation with your hands as you inhale. Shift the weight of your body to your left foot. Spread your left toes down. On your next exhalation, start to lean forward, coming into your Warrior 3. So lifting the right leg up, kicking through the back heel, looking down to the floor. The crown of the head is pointing forward. Lift the kneecap, your right kneecap. You can reach for your blocks for this one. Strong through the standing leg. Hold here for a few breaths. The secret here is on the standing foot, so 3 corners of the left foot pressing down. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, start to fold forward a little bit more. Maybe you're bringing your hands to the floor if they're not already there. You're walking with those hands a little bit more towards your feet, your belly towards your upper thigh, and your right leg a little bit more up. Try not to open the hips to the side, so the right hip still pointing down. Standing splits. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can bring the left forearm behind the left calf. On your next inhalation, and this is the challenge here, using the strength of the left leg, coming up to Warrior 3, maybe with the blocks or without. And as you exhale, bringing the leg back to the floor, raising the torso up. Finding your breath. Deep inhalations and exhalations. Soften the knees. Soften the body. Find the same variation you did with your hands for the other side. Shift the weight of the body to the right. Next exhalation, leaning forward, lifting the left leg up. Virabhadrasana 3. Your left hip is pointing down, so we're squaring the hips down to the floor as much as possible, kicking through the back heel and shooting energy forward through the crown of the head. Find stability here. Your blocks are always there for you. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, fold forward a little bit more, hands to the floor. Lift the left leg up as much as possible. Make sure you keep a tiny bend on the right knee. Push the floor with the 3 corners of the right foot. Maybe placing the right forearm behind the right calf if you want a little bit more challenge. Fingertips of the left hand onto the floor. Breathe. Next, inhale, push the floor. Try to come up through Warrior 3. Whoops. And slowly back to Tadasana. Release the arms alongside the body. Come back to your breath. Very simple movement now to balance a little bit the challenge. So keep your feet hip width, soft on your knees as much as possible. Bringing the back of the hands together in front of your pelvis, in front of your hips. We're inhaling, raising both hands through the center line of the body up, all the way up, maybe looking to the hands. And as we exhale, we're flipping the palms to the outside and down, and traveling with the arms extended to the sides and back. We're going to do that inhaling with the hands up for 4, exhaling for 8. Back of the hands together in front of the hips. Inhale, bringing it up through the center line of the body. Maybe looking up, maybe looking forward. Exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back of the hands together. Inhale up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 8, 7, 2 more in your own rhythm. Trying to feel the movement and soften your knees a little bit more. You don't need so much activation on the legs, just enough to be able to sustain the posture. On the exhalation, as you're moving your arms down, think about moving your arms through thick honey. Feel the resistance to the movement, slowing it down. Last one. Feeling the chest, feeling the belly with air in the inhalation. And slow exhalation to the count of 8. Spread your fingers. Beautiful. From here, find your transition to sit on your mat. Maybe bring your blocks to the sides. We're coming into some work with dynamic bridge pose. Laying on your back, bend the knees, your feet on the floor. And bring your heels slightly close to your buttocks. With your arms extended, your fingers pointing forward, you can almost touch the heels. Just 1 centimeter distance, more or less. Feet are hip width. As you inhale, lifting the hips up, lifting the arms extended up all the way above the head, back of the hands, touching the floor. Push the floor with your feet. And slowly exhale to bring the hips and the arms back to the floor. We're going to come up, inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming down, exhaling for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale up for 4. Lift the hips as much as you can. Exhale down for 6. Two more. In your pace. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 6. Try to press the root of the big toes when you lift your hips a little bit higher. Moving your arms through thick honey. Last one. Feel the shoulders pressing down. Feel the breath opening spaces in the body. And slowly back down to the floor. Extend your legs to the front for this one. We're going into a quick shoulder stand to invert the flow of the blood into the body. So arms alongside your body, your palms facing down. On your next inhalation, bring your upper sacrum to the floor, navel to spine, and lift both legs up. You can have your legs extended, or you can bend your knees to enter the posture here. On your next inhalation, lift your hips up and place your hands on your lower back, or a little bit lower, and bringing your knees towards your chest slightly, and give yourself some space to bring the shoulders in and the elbows in. So we're trying to bring the hips as aligned with the chest as possible. Once you find this alignment, slowly straightening the legs up. Salamba Sarvangasana. So we're feeling the support on the shoulders, but make sure you can keep your chin slightly away from the chest. Try to bring your heels aligned with your hips. Trying to bring long exhalations, inhaling for 4, exhaling for 6. Cooling and calming the body. Relax your buttocks. bringing your respiratory movements to the belly. On your next inhalation, extend your arms back to the floor. Bring your feet slightly above your head and slowly bringing vertebra by vertebra back to the floor. Sacrum touching the floor. You can bend the knees or keep on bringing the legs back down, extended. A little bit of core work until you reach the floor. Brief counter pose with fish Matsyasana, feet to the floor. Lift your hips and place your arms straight under your buttocks, your hands together. Sit on your wrists, extend your legs. External rotation of the upper arms. You start to bend your elbows. Your chest is pointing up and you're sliding the head so the top of the head touches the floor. Flex your toes. Lift your kneecaps. Press the floor with your sitting bones and lift the chest a little bit higher. Strong through your forearms. Pressing down. Almost no weight on the top of the head. Pretty much the whole weight is on your forearms. Maybe opening and closing the mouth a few times. Releasing the jaw. Crack, crack. Sternum up. Slowly with your next exhalation, still using the strength of the forearms, start to bring your chin towards your chest, sliding the head so the back of the head is touching the floor again. Both feet on the floor, lift the hips, release the arms to the sides. Hug your knees towards your chest and rock your hips from side to side. Little bit of massage for your lower back. Turn to one side, press yourself up back to a seated position. Maybe using a pillow on the back of the mat. Sitting at the edge of your pillow, right at the edge. We're working with lotus or half lotus, or you can also work with just a easy crossed, a Sukhasana, easy cross position with your legs. So maybe this is where you are today. Maybe you're coming to half lotus with the right leg in first. Or maybe you're going into full lotus with the left leg on top. Inhale to raise both arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. And slowly placing the right hand on the left knee. The left hand very close to the sacrum to help with the alignment of the spine. Or you can bring that left hand to bind with the left toe. Looking over the back shoulder, bring your gaze to the left corner of the foot. Inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling for 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. Retention for 2 seconds. In for 4. Out for 6. Hold the out breath for 2. And keep on breathing with this ratio of breath. In for 4, out for 6. Holding the out breath for 2. Gaze to the left corner of the eyes. When you get to the retention of the breath, try to twist a little bit further. Bringing your left shoulder as far away as possible from your right sitting bone. Twisting the spine. At the same time as you lengthen the crown of the head. Observe the retention, noticing the emptiness we create when we hold the out-breath, enjoying that space. On your next inhalation, without changing your shape, just look to the front. And as you exhale, bringing the whole shape back to the front. Change the cross of your feet. So the left leg first, left feet first. Maybe staying in half lotus or maybe bringing the right leg in. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, twisting to the right. Next inhalation, placing the hands, left hand on the right knee, right hand close to the sacrum or binding with the right foot. Looking over the back shoulder, bringing the twist all the way to your neck. Gaze to the right corner of the eyes. Same ratio of the breath, inhaling for 4, exhaling for 6. Retention for 2. In, out for 6. Hold for 2. Keep on breathing with this ratio and using the retentions to deepen the twist. It's in the emptiness that we find space. Moving your right shoulder away from the left sitting bone. Lengthening the crown of the head up to the sky. Feeling the blissful moment of the empty breath. On your next inhalation, without moving the shape, look to the front. Exhale to bring the whole shape back to the center. Uncross the legs and extend the legs forward. And maybe for this one, you can let your feet fall to the side and open your knees to the side slightly, just so you can preserve also the alignment of your spine. Maybe it's a good idea to have your blocks, to place them in front of you, or maybe some pillows. And we're folding forward, placing our forehead on the blocks and just resting the arms alongside the body. Feel free to curve the spine for this one, as we are relaxing the whole body. Release the weight of the head towards your blocks. Bring your inhalations to the count of 4 and your exhalations to the count of 8 if possible. If this is maybe too much, you can make the exhalations to the count of 6. Bring your breath to your belly. Softening the whole body with the breath. Long exhalations. And observe that space of calmness. Observe that spaciousness in the mind, away from the fluctuations. And also notice how the body responds to this. Feel the pressure between your forehead and your block. This is a very strong signal that the body sends to the nervous system to activate the rest and digest mode in our bodies. Slowly, with the next inhalation, place your hands on your thighs and come back to an upright position. Bring your props to the side. Accommodate yourself in Shavasana for a few minutes. Maybe you can use something under your knees, something behind, on the back of your head, just whatever makes you feel comfortable. Laying on your back. Allow the feet to relax, palms facing up. Drop the weight of the head to the floor. Feel the back of the head pressing down. Allow the whole body to work with gravity and to sink down to the ground. Connect to your breath, but this time without trying to control it, just observing. Before we fully relax, just a short pranayama viloma. We're going to place our hands on our belly. We're going to work with the inhalation in 3 parts. A sip of air through the belly, a sip of air through the ribs, and a sip of air through the chest, and exhaling to the count of 8. I'm going to guide you through. So let's start just bringing the breath all the way down to the belly. Inhalations and exhalations, moving the belly up and down. Taking a big breath in through the belly. Breathing out through the belly, preparing to start. Breathing in through the belly for 1, 2, hands to your ribs, breathe in for 1, 2, hands to the chest, expand the chest for 1, 2, slow exhalation for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands back to the belly, inhale for 1, 2, expand the ribs, inhale for 1, 2, inhale through your chest for 1, 2, slide your hands back down for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands to the belly, inhale 1, 2, inhale ribs for 1, 2, inhale chest, 1, 2, exhale, sliding the hands, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one in your own rhythm. Inhaling in 3 parts, belly, ribs, and chest. And slow exhalation down to the count of 8. Once you finish your exhalation, allow your arms to fall to the sides, palms facing up. And surrender the body to Shavasana, corpse pose. Slowly bring your attention back to the physical body, moving your fingers, your toes, bringing those movements to wrists, ankles, Maybe stretching the arms up above the head, point the toes to the front, full body stretch, or whatever your body needs right now. Bring your chin, your knees towards your chest and turning to your right side or left. Bring your hands to opposite shoulders. Use the top arm to help you come up to a seated position. Maybe just keeping a soft gaze on your eyes. Coming back to your seat, finding your prop to sit on. Close the eyes. Adjust your sitting bones and lengthen through the crown of the head. Relax the shoulders down. Notice how it feels to be sitting again, and the difference between the beginning of the practice and the end of the practice. Noticing the shifts in your mind state, the shifts in the sensations of your body, the shifts on your breath. We finished the practice chanting a mantra. So it's a mantra to Ganesha. Ganesha is the remover of obstacles. So we chant to Ganesha, honoring and invoking this capacity to remove any obstacles from our path of self-realization and connection to our essence. So may Ganesha helps us to remove the obstacles and fluctuations of the mind so we can see the luminosity in our minds. Feel free to chant together or just keeping your eyes closed in meditation. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 Ganesha Sharena. Ganesha Sharena. Ganesha Sharena. Ganesha Sharena. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Ganesha Sharena. Ganesha Sharena. Ganesha Sharina Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha 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 Om Gam Ganapataye Pataye Namaha Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Allow the body to soften through the words and vibration of the mantra. And the meaning and intention of this prayer. Hands together in front of your heart. Bow your chin towards your chest. In a gesture of gratitude towards the teachers of this practice, gratitude towards the practice itself, and gratitude towards yourself for practicing. Namaste.